Now, we're going to do a little bit of word association. Money.
Heist.
Red.
Ferrari.
President.
Bracelet.
Tourbillon.
Expensive.
All right. $20,000 Tag Heuer.
What?
Hi everyone and welcome to Shaluso, and yes, today we're talking about a $20,000 Tag Heuer. Now, before you make any associations of your own, let me elaborate and be a bit more specific. We're talking about the new 2021 250-piece limited edition titanium and ceramic in-house movement Tag Heuer Carrera 02T Tourbillon. Now, that's a lot of words, so at least you're getting that for your money. And honestly, I feel like this is the most normal tourbillon you can find. And I want you to keep that in mind throughout this video. But first, let's talk a little bit about the history of the Tag Heuer tourbillon. The caliber 02T was first released in 2016, and it was as shocking then as it is probably hearing now. The notion of Tag Heuer, a company that's usually been perceived as being sort of, you know, that sort of entry level into luxury watchmaking under Omega and Breitling and Rolex. Usually it comes as a surprise, the notion of thinking of that dabbling in one of the highest complications, a complication that's normally associated with Patek Philippe, Vacheron, of course with Breguet, Louis Breguet being the one who invented the tourbillon. It definitely comes off as a contrast. But despite what people might think, the line has survived and has continued to evolve since 2016. They've done variants in ceramic. They did the 02T Nanograph featuring its carbon hairspring. They've done variants in rose gold. They've always had a lot of different sort of exotic versions of it, usually with skeletonized dials. But this new version is the first normal version, if that makes sense. It's in a white metal, so it's titanium. It's not white gold. It's no precious or exotic material, really. It's got a blue dial. It's got a solid dial. It's not skeletonized, and a blue ceramic bezel. This is about as normal as it gets. And the reason why I harp on about this is that normal isn't something you associate with tourbillons. Normally they're associated with dress watches or pocket watches, which is where they originated. So having one in a sports watch is kind of a new concept. And the fact that they've done it in such a normal iteration, you know, a white metal with a blue dial, it shows that Tag Heuer realizes the potential of this, and it shows really what the 02T is for Tag Heuer. It's a way for Tag Heuer to show the value that they bring. Now, at first, $20,000 and value doesn't really seem to go hand in hand, and even a lot of the perceptions of Tag Heuer maybe don't scream value. But if you think about it a little bit further, where do those perceptions come from? It really comes from the bottom end of their lineup. You know, a lot of their quartz models that you might find selling in Macy's, it's not coming from things like the Octavias or the Carrera 02s. Interestingly, with Tag Heuer, I've found at least that the more you spend at Tag Heuer, the better value you get. Look at something like the standard Carrera 42 with the Heuer 02 on the inside. That represents amazing value for what you get. You get an in-house chronograph, 80-hour power reserve, display case back, 100-meter water resistance, classic watch with a classic design and with proper history behind it. And it's a similar sort of case with this new Carrera Chronograph Tourbillon. Because if you take the brand away, think, this is a titanium watch with a ceramic bezel, with an in-house chronograph movement with 80 hours of power reserve. It's a vertical clutch column wheel chronograph. It has 100 meters water resistance, and it features a tourbillon, and it's from a company that's over 160 years old. You would think you're parting with at least 6 figures for something like this, but there's only $20,000 because it's a Tag Heuer. It shows how Tag Heuer can really deliver proper value without necessarily compromising in terms of quality. I mean, the difference between this and something like a Royal Oak offshore chronograph tourbillon is, of course, the finishing. Obviously, this is going to be machine finished. The Royal Oak offshore is on another echelon when it comes to decoration and finishing. However, on paper, these are two very close watches, but that offshore will set you back 6 figures. Something a little bit closer to the price of this is perhaps the Ulysse Nardin Freak. While that isn't a tourbillon, its carousel setup means it solves the same purpose by having the escapement rotate around the dial instead of having a rotating escapement. But that, again, you know, it's something very distinctive. You really have to like that look. And that's around 23,000 US. I love it, but it's not really that normal. And the thing is, if you look at the current watch market, normal is what people seem to want. It's the reason why Rolex's most basic models, the steel tool watches, sell much better than their Cellinis, better than golden presidents. It's because the market for the most part seems to like normal. And Tag Heuer is normalizing the tourbillon. So when you look at it in that perspective, it really is a great showcase of what Tag Heuer is capable of and a great showcase of what can be achieved by wanting a bit more. You know, if you're looking at $20,000 in today's market, you're not going to be getting a Daytona anymore. But Tag Heuer is letting you know that's not such a bad thing, because if you want to spend $20,000 on a chronograph, you can get a tourbillon with it as well, get it in full titanium, and still have a column wheel chronograph, and still have 100 meters water resistance, and still have a model that has proper history from a company that has proper history as well. It's definitely a good time to be into watches. But in any case, those are just my first impressions of the Tag Heuer Carrera Tourbillon. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think of this latest iteration of the Carrera Chronograph Tourbillon saga? Do you like this? Do you prefer some of the skeletonized versions? What do you think of the notion of a tourbillon in a Tag Heuer in general? And what are your thoughts on what this represents for Tag Heuer as a brand, and what this means for us as watch buyers, knowing that you can get a tourbillon from a reliable brand without having to relegate yourself to paying six figures, or without having to get a dress watch that you can't really use for anything else? I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you like this video, make sure you like it and share it. If you want to see more of the pictures and infographics featured throughout this and all my other videos, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Shaluso. And if you want to keep seeing more watch videos, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell as well, so you know when the next video comes out. In any case, thanks for watching this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.